Ding, 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 ding.
Never dingy
It's time
enough.
for everyone's favorite night of the week. Yes.
It's always a shimmy. It's a shimmy when we're
Just a
happy.
shimmy. A shimmy will do it. Listen,
Yeah.
a shimmy is nothing compared to what we saw on this past 2 episodes of Below Deck. There were a lot of sausages killing the morale in this episode of Below Deck. But guys, welcome to Anchor Watch, our weekly Below Deck chat, where we take over Up and Adam's channel to recap the highest rated show on Bravo, which just happens to be Below Deck. And that's our favorite show. So
It is.
like, you know,
it's the only show on Bravo worth watching. Let's be real. Like,
I know.
actual work and grit. It's like, yeah, we love the spicy drama, and honestly, I could do a little bit more of it from this season. I'm gonna dive into that later, but it's also I like watching people work hard and get on other people for not working hard enough. That kind of gets me off. So.
Well, there you go. There we are. You know what I have to say though is I'm watching. So right before we come on here, we have a live chat on our website, upandadamlive.com. So like some of the shows, we have like a watch party. We're all in the live chat together, just talking some shit. And there is this show called Next Gen NYC. And it's like a whole bunch of housewife kids and, you know, some other like people's kids. And they all like mix and they're living in NYC. They're all like Nepo kids. And I don't know why I just got into it. Like this episode was like, oh my God, you know, like Charlie wants to sleep with Ariana, but she has a boyfriend. And I'm like, what am I doing?
we get such a look. I already you said that generation and Nepo kids and nothing wrong with that, but it's as being the generation above it, there's only eye rolls, you know, there's this whole like, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's this whole like energy with the younger generation that I'm like, I don't think I can make it through a generation or a reality show with them. But something about, I know, and it's like my guilty pleasure. I haven't watched it in a long time, but during the pandemic, 90 Day Fiance on TLC, it's trash, and I was like, I can't stop watching because we love the drama. It's addicting.
We love the drama. The only, you know, like the only thing is, I wish reality TV hasn't gotten so predictable as it has now. You know what I mean? Because like 90 Day Fiance, they always come out with like the spoilers like months ahead of time because they film it so far ahead. And then like even with Below Deck, like we're talking about now, like we knew the season 9 crew of Below Deck Med a year and a half before it even aired, you know? So it's crazy. But I do want to thank everyone really quick just for the big birthday love that the Up and Adam community and the Adams family has been giving. Thank you guys so much. We had such a great time. We were also on a boat. I would have tipped more than probably these guests, but
we'll get into that. But I was, even when Captain Kerry was like, it's shit, and like I'm glad he was like, it's not you guys. Like they worked so hard for 5 days, and the fact that, like, I'm sorry, before you become a charter guest on, you know, you're going on film, you know, it's Below Deck. Have you not done your research on what past charters have given as a tip for 3 days, let alone 5? Like, come on, guys. And I know they make
5. So like a normal tip. What did we see the first episode? It was like they got a huge tip, right?
30,000 like already this season. It was like 30 grand. I think that was what, second charter or something, like crazy.
Yeah, for half the time. Half the time. Like what the hell?
These guests weren't as bad. I don't know how you felt. Like I was expecting and anticipating, because like when they first came on, it was like, oh my God, we've got this huge group of porn stars. They were over the top crude. You know, everything was a sex dick joke. Not even joke, just like
it was like not even cute anymore.
It was just annoying. I mean? Like, yeah, they were like putting it on, and I feel like I was expecting a lot worse with the previews of like, oh, the S&M, and then I was like, oh my God, there's gonna be this like orgy on this ship, and it never actually, like, they weren't that high in demand. They weren't, they were like some of the easiest going guests, which I was,
I didn't and I don't know. I don't know what porn pays these days. I don't know what OnlyFans pays. But
OnlyFans
I was thinking like
some of these people make like a lot of money on OnlyFans. That's why I've always been like, should I? Like, I'm not going to. Don't worry, I don't want to. But
no,
also, like,
don't do that.
But like,
hold on to your dignity.
There's some girls that fuck my dignity. $1 billion all day. No,
I know. No, it's crazy, right?
Some of these girls, and it's the very, very few, and I'm talking about the few girls I've seen articles, but it's insane how much money some of these people make. So, I mean, but who knows? I don't know what level they're at. I don't know what, you know, what their income is. But I mean, if they can charter a yacht, then they've got a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's crazy. Captain, our other favorite captain, Captain Josh, is in the live chat. I just want to big shout out to Josh. We miss you. So I want you to pop back on here soon. That'd be fun. We can all do a show together. I miss you. And I have to call him back because I have not called him back today. He got on me. Okay, let's start with this. The biggest thing that's happening so far, and I asked you guys to rate the episode like every week in the live chat, but the biggest thing that is happening so far is the whole kind of lack of leadership coming from the deck. It's the big KO versus Captain Kerry here. And while we're talking about this, guys, if you haven't voted in the live chat, vote in the live chat. I want to know what you guys are thinking, because this episode, it didn't give us much. Like, again, Gelsey, like we were just talking about, it was kind of like, it's another one, but I feel like we're about to get so much buildup and so many things happening. We've had so many previews of these really heightened moments that haven't even happened yet. So, but this is the big one here. Yeah, this is the big one here, because Kerry has given him every opportunity to be successful. He wants him to succeed.
Yeah.
But he just like cannot course correct himself. Like, I almost feel like he might have a little bit of an embellished resume or something. I mean, what are your thoughts on like this whole situation, and why haven't we gotten rid of him yet?
That's my question. It's like Captain Kerry's already brought him in and talked to him. The whole crew's complaining, and it's been like, I feel like we're past the 3 strikes almost. Like, there's already been enough problems that it's like, what the hell is going on here? I feel like this maybe is like a producer's call where they're like, oh, just keep him on one more because then it'll give us somewhere to go. You know, sometimes I do have to think of those things, and I do have a couple even notes later on the episode that I was like, oh, this is a producer thing. But I do feel like maybe it's an embellished resume. Maybe it's kind of who he knows in the industry, but maybe he's just gotten lucky with charters that haven't been that difficult or something. And I don't want to shit on the guy, but also he's not good at his job. There's every single part of his job that he needs to do. He literally like doesn't do it. And the thing that bothers me the most with him is he doesn't seem to care about it. Like when Captain Kerry brought him into the office and was like, you don't seem like you're up for it. You seem like you're struggling, that. Then he went to his crew and was like, yeah, Captain Kerry said, we need to step it up. And so you guys, we need to do better. And even the crew was like, no, he's saying
that is my biggest pet peeve. Kyle called it the best.
Bothered me so much.
Kyle, what did Kyle say? Captain Kerry didn't call us 3 up to the bridge. So that should tell you everything. Yes. I hate blame shifting.
Oh, it was so, that just like, not really, like, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and that moment like showed true character. Was like, you can't take any responsibility, dude. And like there's that like entitlement, or like, oh, I'm fine, like, yeah, I'm struggling a little, but like, I'm not gonna just come up and be like, hey guys, I'm sorry, I've been dropping the ball, I'm gonna step it up. It's like, oh, we all need, I don't know, it just was gross. And he doesn't seem bothered. He wasn't like upset or like, I need to do better. He was just like, okay, like he seems too lax.
All right. Guys, I've been calling this since the beginning, but this little triad right here of KO and Jess and Captain Kerry, I really do feel like Jess is going to become our bosun. Yeah. I don't think they're going to bring in a new bosun. I think she will get that promotion, and maybe they'll bring in another deckhand, or maybe we'll get like another guy like Nick from Below Deck Down Under, which, by the way, that was carrying me a lot more than this season so far.
I just love you, Nick. You're just such a fan.
Well, we love Nick. But yeah. But Below Deck Down Under had like, it was consistently good, but here I think it's a big ramp off for that takeoff here.
That's what I honestly today was comparing it to Down Under as well. I was like, honestly, the last season Down Under so far, I think is better, because I feel like it's not just like, oh, they had better drama, but there was just consistently like people were getting fired sooner, new people were coming on. There was enough friction and drama, but things were happening in the crew. Things were happening with charter guests. There just felt like there was movement, where right now I feel like a little bit, we're like, I keep feeling like every episode we're like, oh, it's a buildup. Next episode, shit's going to hit the fan. And then I'm like, this episode is like, oh, next episode. And I'm like, okay, like, who's going to get fired or arrested at this point?
It has to. And I think hopefully it starts in episode 5, because we're already flying through the season. Like,
I know.
It's been what, like 2 minutes we've been doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So I hope we see that next time. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the poll in the live chat. And most of you, I mean, I would say like a fair amount, we all kind of voted like the 3 anchors. Like, it was good, but no more sausages. You know what I mean? I think the best part of this episode was them leaving the damn boat. because 5 days of charter, and I don't know if you caught this, Gelsey, but we did definitely just watch like 1 or 2 days, and they just like fast forwarded through the rest.
Honestly, I at first I was like, "Oh, this is so boring that they're just literally going to do 30 like the whole day 4, they fast forward." And I said it was a montage. It was like a 1980s movie montage of like day 4 montage, which I was like at first like, "Oh, we're doing this." But I kind of appreciated that the editing went that way because I was like, what the guests are not that crazy. Nothing that dramatic is happening. At this point, we want to get to the point where the crew is drinking, getting drunk, and some drama happens because I was getting a little bored. So I appreciated the kind of montage. I was like, what are we going to do? They're going to take them on an adventure. We're going to do a really nice tablescape, Rainbeau, very good, and serve them
Yes.
again and have a nice show. Like, I thought it was a good call because 5 days, like we want to get to the part where we're going out and drinking with the crew. We're
You know
at
what I
that.
think happened? I think that I think production thought that this would be a great chaotic mess of a charter, and they
Moment.
wanted 5 days, and they're like, this is going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
huge. And I think they went through the 5 days and were like looking at their watches like, well, this isn't doing it, so we're going to wrap this really quick,
I thought
really
it was
quick.
gonna be an orgy. I thought that with all the lube we talked about last weekend and all that stuff, like it was a lot of talk and no show. Not that I really want to see any of that or be there for it. Like as much as I love a good sausage fest, not that kind. Um, it was they were very put on of like it was almost like an act of like we're so sexual, we're so in our G strings, we're so this, and then it was like okay, so where's the craziness happening? Like if the most obscure thing, which, oh my God, wait, by the way, did you see that guy? I wrote down orange beanie. His eyes were so bloodshot. He had to be so high at that dinner. They did one
There's
close up of the eye, and I wrote down, I was like, bloodshot eyes. I was, what was he smoking all day? I don't know if you caught it. There was just one look at him, and I was dying. I was like, he's so high, but it really was even like the funny S&M thing never went that far. And I was like, they got all dressed up in these leather outfits. Did this
it
whole
didn't hit.
it didn't hit, and then dinner ended, and they're like, "Okay, we're going to bed. Good night." And I was like, "Oh, that's it." He's disappointed, which I loved Chef Anthony trying to like play the character, and you could see the whole time he was like, "I hope you don't enjoy it." Like he just like wanted to break so bad. I was like, "I can't."
I
But
think, I think that was the other thing too is the biggest thing that happened was that Chef Anthony, which was his mistake from last
shellfish,
week, was not reading the preference sheet and then delivering sushi that is
I
fish, like you said, that had shrimp in it. And I think we were supposed to see this. I think it's okay.
yeah,
Because I still think that this is his redemption season. He's gonna have a big redemption comeback this season, and he's gonna like blow us all out of the water. But
I
it
hope
is just so funny to
I
hear
really
Fraser complain because he's the one who vouched for him.
yeah.
He's like, you have to bring him back. Let's give him another shot. And already you can see him flipping his lid.
Yeah, he's like, "I hope I didn't fuck up. I hope I did" like, and it's true. It's like if that's your first dinner back and the number one concern, and we've talked about this before, if you're a chef, yes, you've got a lot on your plate, no pun intended, but it's your number one thing you should be looking at firstly is the preference sheet and what do they want for dinners? What styles is that? And before that, what are the allergies? And again, we talked about it's not about like me, I don't like olives. Maybe I'd be like, I don't like olives, but I'm not gonna freaking die. This is an allergy. Like it's just that kind of
Yeah, it's a big deal.
yeah.
It's a big deal. Spicy Dame says the other chef should have stayed. I don't know about that. But the other chef, Lawrence, was really, really good with Chef Anthony. So maybe Lawrence just needed a sous chef. I'm not sure. But
I
she says Anthony has no confidence. He's already spiraling. We did see that scene where he was kind of in
oh,
his head
I
and
didn't
he was
like
going
that.
back and replaying everything. And
Yeah,
he's like,
I
fuck off.
but I wrote down the edit on the chef was so cheesy because he's not literally we don't know that they edited him. Obviously, maybe there was a moment of stress. It could have been from two different things. And then they put the slow-mo distancy Captain Kerry like getting hard on him in last season and all that. And I was just like, I don't know. I didn't like it. I thought it was so cheap and cheesy, in my opinion, on the
It's a
editing.
little more, it's a little too much of a buildup, right?
I was like,
Because
okay,
I've been complimenting the way they're filming it this season and the way they did Down Under. It seems a little more elevated than normal, especially in the past few years. Everything
Mhm.
has kind of gotten more elevated, and I kind of appreciate it. I really don't like the cheesiness, like you said.
There
I
was
like
something
some of
about
the
it.
other editing of like introducing people's stories and getting to know them and the way they bring up the photos and just the little splash things they do. I'm
do
really
love that,
enjoying.
yeah.
But
They're like Instagram.
yeah, that kind of thing. It's like, are you pushing us to like make him want, like, for us to want him to have a redemption season, or can we just let it happen?
That's
like,
what
let's just let it
they're
happen.
trying
You
to
know what I
write
mean?
Yeah, they're trying to pre-write the narrative, which it's like, I understand, but it's yeah, you said it, let it happen. Just don't. I really at first was like, really? And I do like that there was a moment where he's like, nope, shut up, fuck. Like maybe he did. I mean, he said it, it's on film, but like,
Yeah.
but who knows what he was talking about? That could have been him telling Fraser to shut up and we didn't see that, or it probably not, but you know what I mean? But yeah, it's I think they set up the shellfish thing to set it up, like you said, to make it look like, oh God, it's a bad mistake. He's back. He's doing the same
Oh
thing.
my God, what's gonna
I think
happen?
he's
Yeah,
crush it. I think
I
he's
do
gonna
have to say though, he's been and I think Fraser was like a little. I know it was serious, but he's already hitting the max, Fraser, with Chef Anthony, and he just got back. That was the first dinner he did.
yeah.
But I do have to say, Anthony, he's pivoting. He took responsibility for it. Hopefully it won't happen again, and that will be something on his mind moving forward. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Have you ever done that? Because you've been on the water a lot.
A
Have you ever
lot.
done that nighttime?
The glow kayaks.
Yes.
Oh,
Have you ever done that?
I said, wow. So I've done something very different, but it reminded me similar. I've never done that because I was losing my shit. I was like, wait, how, where, why, what, huh? And the only thing closest to that is I've in Puerto Rico, I've been on the bioluminescent bay, which they have like the microbiome there lights up at night. And so you do
Oh,
nighttime
right,
kayak.
right.
And then when you move your oar, literally the light, like the water lights up because all of the algae that lights up, like it's amazing. It glows. I'm actually going to Puerto Rico on Saturday. I'm super excited. And that's one of the things I'm planning on redoing. It's been over 10 years since I've done it, but it literally looks like that, but it's still very different because you can't see like into the water, but the water glows. So that's what I've done,
Cool.
which is awesome.
I love to Captain Kerry's sense of that. I love how he talks about it.
Me too.
Kerry just makes me want to be on a boat with him. Like I
Yes.
just want to be
Yes.
part of his crew because I think it would be
Same.
such a great time. I
No,
mean,
you too.
maybe not working with some of these people, but I would
Yeah.
really like to be with him. He just has such this great just there's this great demeanor. Like he gets excited about that. He's like
Yes.
telling us the ocean comes alive at night. This is
Yeah.
going to be great. And another moment I really, really liked was when
Yes.
the captain was talking with Barbara
I love that.
about
I
a
wrote that down too. It
yeah.
was so hard. It was a heart to heart, and it was just so real. And like it showed a part of, not only obviously we got to know a little more about Barbara's story and kind of her heartbreak and maybe where she's coming from, but we also got to see Captain Kerry care. But it's, we got to see that like he's just so empathetic, and it's like as much as he is in this boss role and he's like a phenomenal captain, he really, really does care about his crew and wants to get to know them on a personal level. And I respect that so much. I love that about him.
Oh, absolutely. Judy says, Jason, maybe you can get Captain Kerry on. Absolutely. We were already talking to him about it. He used to be our neighbor in Florida. So he's amazing. He's a really, really, really good guy. We actually did a couple of events and we live streamed, I think 2 of them. Like we did a watch party for Below Deck Adventure and then a fundraiser for a kids museum down on Jensen Beach. So he's a great guy. I think we might even try to plan something else with him this year too, which would be kind of fun. Like we should do that. It'd be fun. Yeah, Captain Kerry, man, like he just gets better and better, but I can't, again, I think I'm just waiting for a little more to happen in the show, but that's not the choice of the cast or the crew. That's the choice of editing and how they're moving the story along and how they're, like you said, like how they're telling the narrative. And I think we're going to get there, guys. I think we're going to get there, but I can tell that the numbers that are coming out, and everyone says, don't look at the ratings because everyone streams now, but to look at the first night numbers gives networks an idea of where it's going to go. And we're still top. Below Deck is still top. So I think it's about to get good. I think it's.
I'm excited. I really do think we've got something good here. We've got a good crew. I'm really anticipating Caio leaving. I'm excited and hopeful for a new crew member to come on. I'm ready for fresh meat. I think it's still so soon, but we've already established the dynamic between everyone that I think this would be a really fun time to throw some fresh meat in there. I am surprised, I do want to say at this point, I know again it's so fresh, but we don't really have any boat romances going on. And normally in every season, there's already two people kind of already hooking up or eyeing, and we've got a little bit of Kyle and Solène, but I think she's just flirtatious with everybody. We do have Damo making out with Fraser. Yeah, can we talk about that for a minute? How do we feel about that?
Can we please talk about this?
Damo's
okay,
so
I too. What is happening?
so
They're gorgeous, but what is happening this season? No, this is great. Like, I don't know if anything's gonna come of it, but we just have this crew that is just so open about everything. I don't think we've seen that before on Below Deck. We were lucky.
Like everybody's bisexual. Like literally.
No, but I mean, we've only seen like, we were lucky to get a gay stew, every now and then, but now we have a whole crew that's just, and what a month for that. Like I always say, like, I really feel like this was all planned for Pride. Good job, Bravo. Yeah, this is the only thing that I don't know, but Fraser did say he is in a relationship.
He's over
his
it, though.
boyfriend. Yeah, he seems over it, but his boyfriend's also in the industry too, and we talked about how hard that is, to be in the bubble.
There has to be some kind of like a compromise because, I'm in the entertainment industry, or at least was. I know we both were, but I was in the entertainment industry for so long, and I've had relationships in my past, all ex relationships, maybe for a reason. And they also were in the entertainment world. And it's like, we both had separate contracts, and it's when Fraser was talking about it, I was like, this reminds me of my ex. And it was like, be on a contract, I'd be on a contract, and like we wouldn't speak for weeks sometimes because we met on cruise ships. He was on a cruise ship, I was, you know what I mean? And it's like it reminded me of that, where it's like I think we went 5 months and didn't see each other. And in this point in my life, I'm like, I would never do that ever. But for so many reasons,
it's really hard. But to the point too. Oh, he's now single according to IG.
I'm not surprised.
Okay, says Summer Sunshine.
I want to make out with someone. I haven't even like seen him. You could tell he was just like, I have a pen pal. And that's
even if you're on a yacht, even if you're on a boat, or even if you're on tour, like what we did and stuff, it's really hard to have that other person like in a stable place. So even if he didn't have a partner in the yachting industry, if he had a partner at home in London or whatever, but you're always on a yacht we talked about this for like, when you're out for like 8 weeks or a couple of months, you're a charter season, you're gone for a minute. It's really, really hard to maintain, especially when you have something new.
Yeah, fun fact to everyone that might not know, I almost exactly a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, I was already signed up to take the safety course and everything to become a stew myself. I was going to. It was Captain Sean. I remember I was at the sports bar and my phone rang and it was Captain Sean. And I go, I got to take this. And I went outside and I was on the phone with Captain Sean for like an hour. And he was like, sign up for this. I already have this. I have a WhatsApp from someone that already was like, Captain Sean sent me your info. You're hired. Just let me know when you're done. And I was like, fuck it, I'm in.
We could be watching you right now, Gelsey. You'd be giving us everything we want.
I know, I'm sorry. I know it'd be such good TV, but no. But I'm in a relationship, and at that point, it was a year and a half in, and now I'm even a year later into it. And I just assessed my life, and I was like, I'm not willing to walk away from my personal life, where in the entertainment industry, I've always put my personal life on the back burner, and I've missed every single holiday, birthdays, births, weddings, you name it, and been apart from relationships. And I was like, I've done that. I'm good. I'm done. And
don't you think that's an age thing too? Like I could never go back and do what we did. I love my life. I love my family. I like my home. Like we're lucky enough to have done it, but like it's a lot.
It's an age thing.
Guys, we have 105 in the room. Hit the like button. It helps us out so much. That is our tip. Just hit the like button, please. We will be missing Gelsey for the next 2 weeks as she's abroad, right? 2 weeks?
Puerto Rico.
2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah. So don't worry, we have other co-hosts coming on that of course you guys are going to recognize, and then they'll be popping on with us as we continue as well this season. So I guess the only other thing to really talk about this episode, because I want to kind of cover the entire crew here, and we see that the deck team is kind of teamed up in a sense of, okay, nothing is structured, nothing is organized, our breaks aren't consistent, but they're all kind of, something's wrong with Caio. They're trying to be supportive. They're trying to like whatever, but there are side conversations with like Kyle and Jess happening, and everyone just wants to eye roll at the end of the day. But on the interior is where I really see the problem, because rumor has it there are 3 firings this season. So if we had Chef Lawrence go and
Caio, I do.
It's Game of Thrones in here.
I love it. Love it. I'm here for it.
We have Caio, who I think might go, because I can't see it going any other way.
He brought the guests 2 times. He brought the guests to the beach without telling Fraser, hey, I'm bringing the guests. And he's like, you need to let me know because we're not done setting up. Like, huge communication error. And then on the way back, he did not let Captain Kerry know that he was bringing the guests back. Like, those are 2 big red strikes in one effing day.
This isn't the first or second time that Kerry has had to pull him aside. And Kerry, like I said, wants him to be successful. He wants him to be good. Of course he does. You know, if you were with Captain Jason, or hell, if you were with Sandy, your ass might have been gone a long time ago. But yeah, everyone's kind of agreeing. But on the interior, I'm just starting to realize, you know, how I said before how you know, they make you think something's going to happen. They make it so obvious, and then something completely different happens.
Yeah.
So my theory, I don't know if it's going to pan out or not, but my theory is, no, Siri, I'm not talking to you. How did you think that? My theory is that I like Rainbeau a lot because she's really good. She's the second stew. She's good at tablescapes.
Also, real quick, her body is banging. Not that I'm a superficial person, but there was a scene she like
1000%
G-string and like took her shirt off, and I was like, damn, bitch, she's hot. Just saying.
No, she's amazing. I just, you know, every time, and I really like hearing their stories. I love hearing how she found out about her panic attacks and how she deals with things, because it really is, this crew is so dynamic already in a sense. It's really, really fun to like learn them and stuff. I just don't think she might last. I think she might call it a day.
Maybe she will. I didn't think about that because we're so focused on firings. You know, we're so focused on like who's going to get fired, who's going to get fired. But like, I forget about the aspect that someone can go, I can't, I'm out. And she might go, because she's like so overwhelmed with Solène, who's a fucking idiot. She should be the one to go. Like, come on. Like, it's getting a little, again, last week we said it, where the shtick is getting old. But at this point, Rainbow's getting so overwhelmed. Like, there was even a moment when he was talking to Solène, and I did love this because we also know we're big Jess fans here, huge.
Yes.
And when she walked away, Solène walked away, and she turned to Jess, and the way Jess responded, like, nope, don't, like, just leave it. Like, I feel like Jess is such a good leader and should just be bosun. And like, she's so calm and like level-headed that even her response, knowing that Rainbow's in the right, knowing she's dealing with something difficult, she still was like, calm down. Like, what can you do? Like, I don't know. I really respected Jess for that response.
Absolutely. And that's the best response, because what can you do? You can only control what you can. And but Solène is, you know, she's still like the urgency thing for me. It's like nothing is important. Nothing is an emergency. There's no urgency behind her step. There's no pep in her step. In fact, this episode, she missed a step, literally.
Oh God, twice. 2 times they fell and then dropped something. I'm like, girl, like, what are you doing?
I just think, though, like, we also got a little tidbit about Solène, too. She's not new to hospitality, you know? So that's what makes me think that.
I was shocked. She was like,
that makes me think that she's going to step it up, and now she's just kind of like feeling it out, feeling where she belongs on the show, feeling where she belongs on the yacht. But she's just not there right now. But I think there's a whole switch coming up where we will see her step up, and where she will be kind of like stepping it up. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong.
It is funny how in the beginning it seemed like Barbara and Solène were going to be the problem together, and Barbara was she was like biting Celine's head off, and she's like, "You don't say please, you don't say thank you." She's like, but I think Barbara figured out like, yes, it's ridiculous. Yes, I'm rolling my eyes, but she told Rainbeau, she's like, you got to treat her like a child. She decided that like Solène is like a 5-year-old, and if I just treat her that way, we're all good, and they've been fine. And it's just funny that that's what we thought the problem would be, and it's not, just because Barbara.
It's funny how that dynamic changed real fast, like
And
real quick.
I thought she was going to be a little more on her, which she is, but she can't understand someone that doesn't have her work ethic. Which, as much as I understand, I mean, like, but she has a good point. Like, Solène came down, I did the bar. Oh my God, thank you. You did so much. And she told her exactly what to do. Clean the table. She said, put it in the cabinet. Put it in the cabinet the best way you can organize. Don't make it messy. And then do the other thing or whatever it was. And then she goes up there and all the decorations are folded in a pile on the table. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. It's that one extra step that's not clicking. It's not happening. But like, I don't know if it's learnable or not. I mean, I think Fraser should take his own advice from, what was it, last season or 2 seasons ago? I don't trust girls with black hair.
He did say that. But he's also kind of like someone, I don't know who made the comment earlier, but someone did make the comment, and I'm trying to find it. Oh, Patio, why doesn't Fraser see this? And I agree. It's like there's so much conflict going on, and I feel like he's not understanding, or we don't see him understanding the dynamic of his team and the conflict that's going on. And it does feel like almost Rainbeau is in charge because she's second, but it does feel like it's like her and the girls, and Fraser's doing his own thing.
And then Fraser's doing like his own thing, which was completely opposite of Lara on Below Deck Down Under, right? She was micromanaging her team. She knew everything that was going on until she didn't. But, it does seem like he's a little distant at the moment. He's a little distant.
A little bit. I'm like, what's going on? But it was a 5-day charter.
Yeah. Lauren, great point, by the way. Lawrence did quit. He didn't get fired. So I don't know if we get 3 firings. I just know we get 3 replacements. From what I've been told, I don't know if that's true or not. And I don't talk to the cast. We know a lot of them, but we don't talk to them about this. That's something it's off limits. I just want to go through some of your comments really quick just to see what you guys are saying. Cindy says, have a great vacation.
Thank you. I will. I'm so excited.
Puerto Rico will be beautiful.
A little fun fact too, I'm also going to Orlando, and I get to see you, Jason.
Yeah, I'm going to see you next week. I can't wait. I'm so excited. You'll see a lot more of us. People really like Rainbeau, though, and I really do like her energy. And I think she is good at the job. So I don't want to see her get too overwhelmed where she's like, fuck this. I don't want this anxiety. I don't want to deal with this girl. I don't want to deal with this, whatever. And thank you guys for the birthday love. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Marianne Stout says Captain Lee would have left him at the dock with a luggage first charter. See, Lee was vicious. He would have been like sending him home. And at Patio, it is true. Like Gelsey just said, why doesn't Fraser see this? And I think he was so focused on the chef before and that problem. And then we got the sausage fest that came on board and everything was just a little too much. I think now, like we said, it's a slow takeoff. We'll start to see him notice the things that he needs to start noticing. Let's hope. Let's hope.
His team's kind of falling apart, and it's not like he's in the corner playing with his own dick. Like he's working, like he's doing stuff. At first I thought he'd get distracted with the porn stars, and I did write that I was like, oh, he's thriving in this S&M themed night. Like even he was like, I was like, he's really enjoying this. But as much as it's, all fun and games, like he's still working his ass off and he's at the beach. And I think right now, just with a 5-day charter and there are excursions that he has to be present at, I think it's kind of hard to see everything. So I'm kind of excited to get back to some 2- and 3-day charters where things are a little quicker and turn around and it's not as many excursions. Oh, yeah. I think that will really bring some things to light and show. And
then we get more crew nights out, which is also what we need to drive the drama. I still feel like, it is a very, it's just a slow takeoff. That's all I think it is. I think we're going to get there. We've had the previews of Kerry going off on guests, how he's in charge. We've had the previews of Kyle doing something he should not be doing. Like these things are not off the table. They haven't even happened yet.
But so, I'm if it's like they have like 2 big events this season and they could have happened in like episode 11, and if they just kind of keep dangling that, like I'm curious if it's that kind of season where it's like one thing happens at the end, but they're like, come on, come on, come on, or if it's like gonna happen soon and we're gonna like go, go, go. I'm still not sold on this season. I'm curious.
You know what? And that sucks because I felt the same way about last season, 11. But you liked it, right? Season 11?
I actually really liked it. When I
You
was
yeah.
starting, you were like, "Oh, it's kind of boring," and I was like, "This shit's crazy." Like, I thought it was a little more eventful than this one so far. It started off a little more eventful, I think, but it
Yeah.
could flip.
Well, and I also didn't expect the porn stars to be so
Tame?
soon either. So I
Oh,
feel like well, not tame. They were
they were
tame. But they were
kind
also
of.
annoying.
They
But
Yeah, like I said, it was all
yeah, I
show.
just didn't expect it to come that soon, and it came that soon. So I'm wondering if it was the dangling of the carrot, and then of course
Yeah,
probably the 2 weeks are gone. Shit's gonna hit the fan. I'm gonna just have to sit
so
here
good.
and
Like,
talk about it without you.
one of you said, "I hope we didn't scare you off that I'm not gonna be here," and I'm like, I told Jason at one point, I was like, "Wait, okay, the next Tuesday I could like put my hotel room together and put a temporary filming." And I was like, honestly, guys, I'm going to be drunk in Puerto Rico on my little nighttime kayak or something.
Which
Like,
would be the best time to go live.
I know, honestly, maybe I can like send in a little, I'll watch it and send in a little video. I don't want to miss this. And I'm so sad that I'll be gone, but me and my partner have, it's our time to have vacation. We've been
Absolutely. No.
so
And Gelsey, you're going to be with us in September. You're coming to BravoCon with us and the team. So we have a lot of fun things, lots of vlogging and things that will go.
yeah,
They're going to kind of be amazing. It's going to be kind of fun.
it's gonna be great.
Guys, so we're going to leave it here tonight. But in the comments below, I just want to know what you guys are thinking. It helps us out so much. And I think it kind of helps Bravo out because I swear to God, they like read our stuff, like our comments and stuff. We always do these polls and stuff. And then like sometimes it ends up happening. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God, did we do that? Probably not. They probably are way ahead of us anyway. It doesn't matter. But leave the comments down below and let us know what you guys are thinking about this season and who you think is still left to be fired. Well, not fired, but let go, walks away, or fired. Because apparently it's 3 this season, and I could have that information wrong. But if we have Lawrence gone and Caio like walking the plank as we speak,
He's got
who else would it be? Who else?
I really don't want it to be Rainbow. I want it to be Solène because at this point, I do love though. Did you see on the comms when Rainbow was Celeste? She wasn't even saying her name right, and I was like, "Girl, okay, don't be rude." That I did appreciate. I mean, I laughed. I was like, "That's not her name."
The only thing I see with that is it's too easy. Solène it's too easy. The target is there, so it would
Yeah,
just be
maybe it's
easy to
like
be like, "Hey, it's not working out. Bye."
Wouldn't it be crazy
You
if
know?
Stephanie got fired again? I didn't even think about that.
That would be crazy. Could you
That'd
believe
be
that?
crazy. Poor guy
I
though.
don't think so.
I don't want him to because he's like, I was a loser and I don't want to be a loser and I'm still the little loser. And I was like, you're not a loser. Like the last season, I was like pep talking and I was like, no, Anthony, you're not a loser.
You're
It's
not a loser, Anthony.
growing. You're amazing. And I just like I don't want it to be him again because I don't want him to like beat himself up. He's so hard on himself. But
Well, you know, I don't know what happened, but Us Weekly released a thing right when he came on the show, of course, coincidentally, that is it his ex-wife is now with his uncle?
you said that
Like,
last week. You said
what
that
the
last
hell? Yeah, I
this
think I brought it up. Yeah.
This poor guy. No,
Um,
he's a jar,
hmm,
like charm. He's a gem. I was trying to say the same 2 words together. He's a charm and a gem, and
he's a
I do like
he's
him.
a
So
gem.
he's a gem. I want to see him succeed. So much. Yeah, no, it's good. But I'm curious that people are talking about again. It's like I'm kind of craving a little like crew romance drama because no one has slept together yet. I feel bad. I feel like initially I was like, oh, it's going to be Barbara and Jess just because they're the 2 gay women,
Oh,
and
I
I'm
know,
like,
right?
that's
That's
what it
also
should
easy.
it's
That's
easy,
easy. It
but
can't
they
be
haven't
easy. They trick
talked.
us.
They don't seem like
Yeah.
they're like clicking or flirting. And again, it's like I'm a fan of both of them. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna do that. Just I'm like, well, they go together, but I'm ready for someone to get drunk and make a stupid mistake so I can benefit off of my entertainment and joy from it. Like I'm kind of ready
I
for that
mean,
point.
listen, I thought this was like
I mean,
pretty intense. I'm not
that's
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. This was pretty intense. I was like, Fraser, you are doing the most, and I'm loving it.
and
I'm
Kyle, didn't
loving
you
it.
make out with Kyle last season? Kyle
He
made out
did.
with
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. He did. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. He makes out with all the guys.
I know Kyle's like really eyes on Solène, and I think he's tongue in cheek when he makes out with Fraser and this that, and partly I thought Damon was like that, but then when he was like, well, I used to think I was gay, so maybe, so I think he's definitely bi because he definitely seems open and like interested. But I'm just so curious. Solène, she's gonna be the first person to sleep with someone. I don't know, because she came from Live Island. She has to.
Well, she said she didn't want too much Scottish, so I don't know if
I think she
she's
likes
gonna
playing the game.
end
I
up
think
with
she likes playing the cat mouse game. I think she likes being in control, because she was doing that. What was it, 2 episodes ago or last week with Kyle and Damo? She likes it.
but she's also not interested in being in a relationship. So,
Yeah.
What I find is these guys, when they get with the girl, the cute girl, and she doesn't really want them anymore, they kind of like pursue even harder, and it becomes embarrassing and weird. Like we've seen it so many seasons before in Below Deck, and it's just it should be very interesting. But guys, leave your comments below. Let us know what you're thinking. I just want to know 2 more names. Of course, Caio is easy, but who else? Who else do you think could possibly go, if anybody actually ends up going? Because what we could do is get in a whole bunch of drama, all that drama we've seen, and then no one goes. That could be interesting too. We just have to wait and see. But I feel like we're getting a big build up here. Let me know what you guys think about the episode. Thank you guys for the birthday love. And Gelsey, I guess we won't see you next week, but I will see everyone next week at 10:30 right here on Anchor Watch. And hopefully we'll have a lot more to talk about.
I hope when I come back, there's just so much to unpack. And I know I'm new, you guys, so don't forget about me for leaving for 2 weeks, just because, I know. Please keep your hearts and doors open for me when I return, because I literally, like, this is my favorite night of the week. I love doing this with you, Jason. I love talking to all of you.
Oh, same. And if we could get Josh and Greg to get on here too. But kids is a thing. It's a thing. It really is. Oh, guys. Yeah. So did the interview with Serena happen? No, she had an emergency. She couldn't make it. We're planning on trying to do it this next week. So if that happens, I'll keep you guys updated. Sorry. They're always like traveling and doing stuff and emergencies and things. Below Deck people are the hardest people to interview. Yeah. They really are, because they're always working. They're busy.
I get it. So.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you all again next week. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.